Hi, I'm Mark Buckerfield, the Director of City Assets at the City of Port Adelaide Enfield. Last night we had a rain event that unfortunately coincided with a very high tide. In anticipation for this very high tide, Council, working with SES, helped provide sandbags that were then available to the general public. Our staff also went to familiar points across the city which are known to flood to set up their pump stations, to take water out of the underground network and then pump it directly out into the Port River. A number of the stormwater pipes have a non-return valve to stop the seawater from actually feeding back into the system and then pushing out into areas of the city that are actually below the highest tide levels. So those non-return valves, whilst they stop the areas from being flooded, also mean that any inundation that we do receive cannot escape that network. So in anticipation for these events, we approach our staff to see who would be available to come out, and unfortunately last night we had a great contingency that put up their hands to come out in the cold and wet conditions to help man pump stations and put in pipe work, temporary pipe work and sandbagging to prevent the community from experiencing flooding problems. It's often a wet and thankless task, but I'm certain that whilst they might not be seen directly by the public, certainly their efforts do not go unnoticed, because without the guys and ladies for coming out and helping, then there would have been a great deal more localised flooding. We had people working in the call centre until after 7 o'clock to take any calls from residents that might have been concerned about localised flooding. And another very important function, and that we're very grateful that staff volunteer to assist after hours, is provision of food. And last night we had a number of staff who volunteered to work back and provide that to the workers that were out in the cold and blustery conditions last night, and to make sure they were well fed. A lot of them had a full day's work and then worked well into the night, and with most not finishing until around 10 p.m. last night. Public safety is our number one concern. Whilst we work to minimise the impact of Mother Nature, Council is also investing heavily in major infrastructure projects across the peninsula. For more information on these projects, please see our website.